am free. I am free. I am free. I am free.
Melody has agreed to receive a spell break around prosperity. I'm going to be sharing information that you're going to realize is lies that you bought into. And as you can see it as lies, it'll already start releasing its hold onto you. It's not just information, it's transformation, truly. It's activating you. Many people have made achieving prosperity hard when prosperity is not even an achievement. It is a realization. Everything you could ever need or want is already here, like the air you breathe. We live in an infinite universe. Our thought forms direct this energy to give us what we want and what we don't want if we have subconscious spells. We're always manifesting whether we know it or not. And I like to say perception is projection. Whatever you're perceiving is also what you're projecting. So people are stuck because they have hundreds of spells running in their subconscious mind and body. And now we have the technology to clear them all out. In this session together, you will be clearing your spells in two ways. You'll be realizing so much of what I share about the spells you bought into from your upbringing in society were lies. And the second way is we will have a money scarcity spell break with a person here, which is Melody, who has agreed to be videoed. So why are you here? You are here because you've been feeling stuck in some way, probably around prosperity, and you're not alone. According to polls taken of hundreds of people who call themselves spiritual, and these are people that have learned on some level they have access to the infinite power of the universe to manifest anything. Isn't that interesting? That so many people that have been studying that we are infinite are so stuck. They have 95% say they've been procrastinating. And if you can relate to any of these, Melody, you can raise your hand. And been self-sabotaging their own success and playing small. 95% or more. Um, what this means is that the self-help industry is not working. And what I'm attempting to do here is to break your self-help addiction. Because there's really nothing wrong with you. We just got to get the spells out. That's all. Today, we are going to break some spells that have kept you playing small. First 2 years of your life, everybody's trying to get you to get up, stand up and walk and talk. And then the minute that you could, the rest of your years, they told you to sit down, shut up, be still, and be quiet. And the programming has never stopped. We're going to blast that crud right out of your bodies. Now let's look at what is real. From source, the unmanifest, to the manifest. Unlimited knowing coming through. We can see it as like a giant fire hose. Infinite, unlimited knowledge, wisdom, creative energy is flowing into me. I am the center of the universe. You are the center of your universe. Next time someone says to you, who do you think you are? Center of the universe? Say, yeah, yes, I am. We are. I receive it. I flow it out to the universe. And I'm creating without limits based on everything I know and believe. And what I know and believe is why I keep getting the same things over and over. The infinite being is coming through always. There's no turning it off. You have only two choices of what you can do with this infinite knowledge, wisdom, and energy. You can focus it into what you want to experience, or you can fall into thought. And if you fall into thought, two things happen. You look at what is, and you think it's real and solid. And you refer to the memory and create more of the same, more of the same, and more of the same. You're not in your creative power. It's only when you're focusing on what you want to experience that you're in your creativity. And I also notice when we fall into thoughts, we stop breathing or we breathe very shallow. By the way, are you breathing now? Are you doing your I am breath? Okay, good. Stay with it. We can focus our mind on what we want or we can fall into thought. That's the big choice. We've been programmed to use our minds, really our ego. So when it comes to making money, how do I make more money in thought? I look around and remember, oh, I didn't have money before. And then I made money and then I lost it. Most of my friends don't have money. I never could hold on to it. The economy is sucking right now. Hardly anybody in my industry is making any money. I guess I better get a boring job that pays my bills and then burn out again doing what work I hate. Yeah, yeah. And that's the mind. That's when the thoughts are just going off. And thought, it's a downward spiral. So what's the opposite of thinking? How can I focus this infinite, unlimited knowing and creativity in a way that actually serves me? What would I like to experience about money? Ah, it would be so great to go when I want, where I want, with whom I want, buying and selling, giving and donating, traveling, produce my books or my products, expand my influence. How do I feel when I have that? While focusing on this positive experience, all the spells deactivated. So there's another way you clear spells is you simply dwell on what you want. We've been programmed to use our minds to think, to figure out how. Start going into how and make it so hard. Get on that computer, come up with strategies. And that is the worst thing we can ever do. And the vast majority do it constantly and are always creating more and more of the same and more of the same. What I help people do is help them remember I am that infinite being of infinite light with infinite access to all knowledge, unlimited guidance, wisdom, power, and creativity of the universe flowing into me and through me. Everything that shows up in front of me is a mirror of what I believe and think. I don't know if you've heard of the law of dominant thought. And the law of dominant thought is you're getting what you're mostly thinking about. So I can go and do battle and find all my beliefs, all my rules, all my values, all that crap. I'm not going to spend my whole lifetime finding all that crap. I'm not going to spend more time trying to figure out how to get what I want. The hows are using the mind, which is a finite thing, to solve infinity. Instead, I'm going to tap right into the quantum energy of what I am, the unlimited guidance, and aim this unlimited power into the direction of what I want, thereby creating everything I want and eliminating all the crap that I don't want. It's mind-boggling how well it works. Mind is a lens that can be used to aim my unlimited fire hose of infinite knowledge, wisdom, and guidance. I'm aiming it towards what I want by focusing on what I prefer and feeling it with everything in me. And that is the straightest, cleanest, clearest, most powerful path to instantaneous manifestation. Really bypassing all the mind crap. However, it takes practice. We've been so used to using the mind. It's a skill, it's a new habit to go direct. And your mind will rise up in total opposition to you. The mind's job is to keep you safe. The only way it knows how to keep you safe is to keep everything exactly as it is. That's why changing is so incredibly difficult for the vast majority of people. And it's the spells, particularly, that are really negative spells that we're going to get into in a minute that are in the mind that we're going to be clearing, that really cause that mind to really reject where you're going. All the great seers have said, you're not your mind. I invite you to say it to yourself now. I am not my mind. I am the chooser of my thoughts and my world. You choose change. And your mind says, if you change, you'll die. For example, don't you see that the reason you're alive now is you have avoided having too much money? There's that lie. Today, we will be clearing money spells. Spells like when you were little and you were told rich people are greedy, they're selfish bastards. Sales is slimy and manipulative. They are crooked and they are always trying to get your money and trick you and manipulate you. You heard it, the filthy rich. But we're going to go also much, much deeper. What if I told you that your money issues aren't really about money at all? These feelings of not enough you're experiencing, they were there long before you ever thought about your bank balance. That fear of not having enough money, it's often masking a deeper fear, maybe of not being enough yourself. And here's the kicker. Sometimes the very act of chasing money is keeping you from experiencing true abundance. When we start to peel back the layers, we often find out that the real issue isn't about money at all. It might be about the need to prove yourself because you already feel you're not enough as you are. That was a big one for me. Also, this next one I just recently cleared, the deep-seated fear of rejection. That whatever you offer is not going to be received and accepted. And I just cleared that one, and it was really big. It was really, really big. Um, I mean, I've done clearing on it with the Freedom Code, but the spell break is massive. And the spell break was so big because I just had some appearances of rejection. And I am starting as a minister to do weddings, and somebody called me to want to do a wedding with me out of the blue. No advertising or nothing. It was great. And we're getting along fantastic. And this couple and we came up with a vocal agreement with the money and everything. And so I got fast at work with creating a wedding script for them, sent it to them, and they love it. It was exactly what they wanted. And then they found somebody else who could do it. Some friend of theirs was going to do it for free. And I asked them to pay me for some of the work I already did. I already did 3 hours of work. And they completely rejected me as being exploitive, of being like I was this money going after money, like I'm this dark person going after money, and and there's projection, right? But anyway, it was really I was so in love with doing this work because this is what I feel is my calling next is to be a minister, and I really did that work from my heart, from my love. And when they just suddenly turned like a mean dog, it was really something like they're ready to sue me or something. And it just really hit that place in my heart. And when that happened, it brought up a series of rejections that I've gone through, appearances of rejection, right? We attract this to ourselves because we haven't healed it. And these early childhood feeling rejected, early childhood, that's really starts. And so I'm doing a spell break. I started having so much pain in my heart that I really thought I might have to go to the hospital, like I'm having angina. I mean, I was really in pain, like this is what angina is. I went, wow. So I just, and one part of me says, you better get up and go to the hospital. But that was my mind. Okay, all right, I'm going to stay with the self spell break. So I stayed with it. I just stayed breathing. And sure enough, after lots of sobbing and clearing, it was over. It was zero. And then I got the perfect test after that. One of my favorite students rejected me in going forward with a certain class I got coming up, and it didn't affect me at all. It's like, okay, fine. And then I knew that I'm done. That, reject me, go for it. Test me, it doesn't affect me anymore. And so that's what this works like. It's so in the body, so transformative in the body. I'm so excited to do this work with you today. These spells are in people like the desire for security that money can't actually provide. Is most people don't feel safe. So have you lacked the guts to come out and fully express your soul's amazing gifts? In the past, I have. Have you had gut issues? Yeah, like being constipated or irregular, all that stuff, pain and cramps, whatever. Did you know these two issues are very related? Physical constipation is also emotional constipation and procrastination. All go together. I will tell you why. It's because you don't feel safe. What causes the gut to go out of balance on the emotional level is unhealed trauma and unhealthy sexual energy, which is really still a reaction to the trauma. The inner child, your lower emotional center, lives in your gut, and unhealed memories make you feel not valued and unsafe. So let's look at the value piece right now. Many people experienced in their childhood the idea that I'm a burden. I'm a burden to the family because it's a lot to raise a child. When we are neglected, when we feel unloved, we feel and we feel what our parents are going through, I felt like, oh, I'm a burden. I'm a burden on the family. Like I'm walking on eggshells. I better really be good. The idea that I'm a burden instead of a blessing, instead of a gift. Then there's the issue of safety. And we're now going to talk about what we call the 5 lessons from hell. Number 1, we didn't feel safe to be here and to breathe. I was spanked. Um, my first breath, I got a spank. They cut the umbilical cord immediately, which is insanity itself, because that's the oxygen supply. So first breath was a breath of panic. You get a little swat on the butt. I was also circumcised, and I came into hell. So it's not safe to breathe. It's not safe to be here. Not safe to be in the planet. Not safe to be in a body. Not safe to be me. And this also comes down to being a girl or a boy. Some parents wanted a boy, and sometimes they didn't say it, but they just were feeling it. And you feel everything your parents feel. So, or they wanted a girl and you're a boy. So you were the wrong sex for your parents, or whatever. Your hair was different, or whatever it was. Didn't look like they wanted you to look like, or you didn't act the way they wanted you to act like. So it's not safe to be me, to be just who you are. Not safe to want something, to have a need. This is a big one for people because the adults have their agenda, and then you want something, and it's some candy off the rack in the store, and they go, no, not safe, and they can even react. You grab it again, and they really slap your hand, really punish you for wanting what you want, your need. So then we learned in these spells that we're punishing ourselves for going for what we want, that it's bad. It's bad to go for what you want. And then the religions added a whole thing to this. Like desire is bad. Desire is the cause of suffering. This put out our fire. Your desire is your fire. This is the fire in your belly. This is what makes your gut work, is having fire in your belly. When you turn off your desire, you turn off your fire. And this is what makes you dead in the water. Not safe to get what you want. Who do you think you are? A sibling is jealous. All these things, reasons. Not safe to get what you want. That happened with this couple. I think they have serious prosperity issues, and when I asked for what I want, they really reacted. Did I asked for to be paid, and they just like, who do you think you are? You're a minister. You're just supposed to have a begging bowl. you know. With all these first 4, it really shuts down a person, and what comes up is negative emotions. So the 5th is really about the emotions that come up. It's not safe to express your feelings. Not safe to cry. I'll give you something to cry about. Not safe to get angry for sure, come back at you with more anger. Not safe to be around others while they express their feelings. So then this just really shut us down. These are the spells that shut us down the most. When you don't feel safe, this is the deal. You misperceive reality. You seem to have no choice. You react. You become impulsive, compulsive, and also you refuse to act. You, you're in procrastination. You're shut down. So I'd like you to take a moment to think of the worst thing someone has ever done to you. Could it be that they did it because they didn't feel safe? And could it be that they did it to feel more safe? Now think of the worst thing you've ever done. And could it be that you did it because you didn't feel safe to begin with? And could it be that you did it to feel more safe? Could it be that those who are committing crimes are all doing so because they don't feel safe and they're doing it to feel more safe? Could it be that those in our government who are trying to control the people and limit their rights, that they don't feel safe and are doing what they do to become more safe? This is how feeling unsafe distorts our reality and what it causes in the world, what it causes in our relationships and to the whole world. Defensiveness shows up as offensiveness. And look at what we've done in the United States. Our defense system shows up as offensiveness in the world. What were you saying?
Oh, yeah, the last part you nailed it, which was just profound, was defensiveness shows up as offensiveness. I've just seen that in time and time and time again, the in people in the government, like you said, it just really hit there, and really all the points relate back to feeling safe. And it's so interesting because God is loving, but in this world that we don't feel safe at our core here, like that is it. So all those points were just like really, they sunk deep into my soul, like my knowing. It was very profound.
Thank you, Melody. And I just want to say to you and everyone here else that whatever really touched you is probably a place in yourself that where your spell break will be, whatever you got touched the most. Your body knows what it needs to do. So it'll all be perfect. So, Melody, we're going to do a spell break. And this is really you doing this work with yourself. I'm just going to be guiding you. But everybody here, this is your commitment to your own healing. And I'm not a healer. I don't call myself a healer. I just support your self healing. And to me, all healing really is self healing, the real healing. And one of my favorite ways of describing healing is love applied to the hurt, love applied to this part of ourselves that feels unlovable, right? Some part of us feels unlovable, and sometimes that's a big spell, really, got into the physical body even. And so then we keep sending love, and it melts that old story out, melts it right out, and dissolves it. All right, Melody. So tell me about what's happening in your life with when it comes to prosperity. I need to know a little bit what's going on. So just a little bit, and kind of hear it from your take on it, what you're going through, how do you feel stuck around it?
I've been shy, afraid to be seen my whole life, and still am, been breaking through it. But I did start a YouTube channel in 2020, and my self-sabotage stopped me very quickly, maybe 10 videos. And I was like, oh, I don't need to do this. There's more people more knowledgeable than me, and yada, yada, yada.
So that's
So
one of the spells right there that other people are more knowledgeable, that you lack knowledge. And what's the other yada yada? What else?
probably fear of being seen, fear of maybe being, misspeaking, because again, in the spiritual and health community, there's people that know more and are tuned in more. And so was like,
So
I don't
there's a very
need to
strong
do.
belief that other people know more than you do.
Right.
Very strong.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's
Like they're
just,
more guided than I'm
yeah.
not there yet. That type
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
I
I'm not
need
good enough.
someone,
I'm not
yeah,
guided enough. I'm not good enough. I'm not guided enough. Breathe into that for a moment and how that feels, that lie, how that feels in you. Because it seems very real. Part of you really believes it's real. So as you tune into that feeling, uh, what is the feeling that comes up for you between three choices: sadness, anger, or fear?
sadness.
Sadness. So that's the feeling. And where do you feel it in your body?
Uh, Definitely solar plexus, emotional, but also heart
Hmm.
and arms a little.
Okay. So go to where you feel it the most, wherever that is the most, and put a couple of fingers on that place. Either hand doesn't matter. And those fingers are going to follow wherever you feel sensation the most as you go through this spell break. So they will move probably to different places as you feel the sensation change and move. And I'm going to ask your body's going to answer the question. And as you focus all your attention on that feeling, you become the feeling. And I'm asking you in that feeling, how old are you? What's the first number that pops in your mind?
3.
Yeah, okay. 3. Yeah. Just noticing that, just noticing what comes up for you around that, the 3-year-old, what she was feeling, how much she felt valued. Just noticing that and and allowing yourself to really be focused mostly on, I mean, almost all your attention is on the feeling in your body. And you're staying with your breath, staying with the full breath. In fact, allow the breath to go even a little deeper, both the in breath and the exhale, following each in breath with an exhale, each exhale with the in breath, no pausing in between, allowing a little smile. You're connecting your I am. At the same time, your your attention is on the feeling. All your attention on this feeling. The more efficiently and effectively you're going to resolve the very roots of it. It's literally going to dissolve and depart from your body. It's going to drop to zero eventually. Where are you feeling the strongest sensation in your body? Just noticing it and forget what you know about it. Just focus on the feeling, not the story. Stay with the feeling. And for the next few minutes, for however long it takes, you're going to dive your awareness directly into that physical sensation. You want to be at such a focus that everything else, thoughts and memories disappear. And the key is to become one with the sensation and flowing your awareness, which is love, directly into the sensation, which will dissolve it at its roots. And Melody, I'm asking you now, when you first started, we call that 100%. Where would you say the percent's at now?
Hard to say 12 or less, maybe. I don't know. Oh, I feel like it already cleared a lot.
So you're already down to like a 12.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
a big
Yeah.
release.
Okay. Stay with it. And I ask you now what percentage between 1 and 100%? Where is it at now?
I pretty much don't feel it. So
Hmm. Yeah. So would you give it a 1 or a 0 or
I would be as like a 1 or 0. Yeah, 0. But I don't know unless.
okay, well, let's test. I'm going to have you answer yes or no. Others have more knowledge than you do, and so you're not ready. Yes or no? Is that true or not? Yes or no?
Oh no,
Okay. And so is there any reaction to that statement?
there was, I'd say, a tiny bit of reaction.
Okay. So let's do a little bit more. Just breathe,
Okay.
clearing that spell, the insane idea that others have more knowledge than you do, and that you don't make the grade. Because these spells, they go on and on until you clear them.
Yeah, it felt like when you said I'm not ready, that was where it was like, yeah, that's the spell a little bit.
Okay.
Like, oh, we need more.
Yeah, exactly.
But
So be with the idea that I'm not ready. See how that feels in your body. Which emotion do you feel there? Anger, sadness, or fear?
Fear.
Fear, okay. So breathe into fear. Where do you feel it in your body?
Throat.
Throat, okay. So put your fingers on the throat, slightly, and breathe. You're breathing into your belly, into your brain, and you're also breathing into that place. And all your attention is on that place, on that sensation. And you're letting yourself feel it. Giving yourself full permission to feel whatever's there. What percentage would you say it's at now compared to before when you first started this new motion?
50.
Maybe the bigger spell here. So that's good. So I really appreciate your being a spiritual warrior, being a role model for others.
Yeah.
Yeah. Staying right with that emotion, loving yourself through it. And don't be ashamed to just really wail and cry, if you need to, let it all come up. Yeah, just let it happen. Just clear it even bit. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, let it all come up. Yeah, just breathe. Yeah, 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 yeah. Just feeling the love that's all around you. Your I am is right here with you. Yeah. Knowing you're going to get it all out. You're going to get to zero. Yeah. Yeah. Your love is melting it right out. And what percentage would you say it's at now, Melody?
Uh, like 23.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
It's crazy to think of how much I'm not ready really found it for me. It felt so much like,
Yeah.
oh, and being probably rejected. My mom always tried to push me when I was being shy and I wasn't ready, so there was
Yeah.
like, that is really what came up too.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
was shy. I like needed more time. It was
Mm-hmm.
being
Yeah.
pushed away. So,
Breathing, connecting with your I am. And now it's just kind of let go of the story.
okay. I
We
know
don't
I
need to,
tried to not go into the story, but that's what came
yeah.
up.
Yeah. We
Wow.
just let it go and just be with the feeling right here and now. What's happening with the feeling right now? Because we are rebirthing ourselves. We're in a quantum universe. The past does not exist. It's over. It's a whole new now. So, you're watching the mind needing to believe in it longer because the ego wants to still exist like that. Just noticing it, just with love. We don't battle it. We just notice it. And what percent would you give it now?
I don't really feel it. So,
Mm-hmm.
3 to 0 somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Somewhere to 3 to 0. So just stay with it. You're
Okay.
you're gonna know when you're at zero.
Okay.
So
Okay. Yeah. Wow. That was very, very powerful.
wow, wow. So now let's ask you the question. Let's see if you have any body reaction when you say this to us. Uh, I'm not ready.
I'm not ready.
Okay, and what's your body? What kind of reaction are you having?
No reaction. Feels
Yeah,
very still,
yeah,
calm.
yeah. There you go. There you go. That spell is out of you. You dissolved it
Wow.
to zero. So I'll ask you another question. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah. Yes. Of other people who know SpongeBob, he's ready. I'm ready. So,
That's another one. SpongeBob has a song like that.
oh yeah, it's I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Good. I can put it on when we get
Yes,
done here.
definitely.
So
I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
it was fun. Thank you, Melody. You're the best. You're the best guinea pig I've ever had.
Thank you. That was fantastic. Truly, very, very, very powerful.
And I'd like to welcome you to the world of spell breaking. This is the work that gets real results to break you free of mediocrity into living your soul's passion. If you're serious about getting free, you should know a bit more about spell breaking. After practicing this work for many years, we have found everyone has hundreds of spells eroding their health, happiness, love life, career, and prosperity. The spellbound ego that keeps us from having what we want is very thick for virtually everyone. And these spells are not broken, they continue to grow, making one feel impossibly stuck, eventually dragging one to their grave. The good news is that 70% of these spells can be cleared in very short few minutes, almost instantly, with the Freedom Code quantum healing system. When I tune into Melody's soul with muscle testing, I get she needs one more session with the Freedom Code to clear enough spells to have a prosperity breakthrough. So welcome, Melody. We're here 2 days later after your first session there. Thought I'd slip this in to our webinar. And you said you had an experience yesterday, the day after your session. Can you tell us about that?
Right after the session, it was in the evening, but man, I was very activated. I was very clear and felt extremely like high frequency. And I had a great conversation with someone that allowed me to really use my throat in a very beautiful, clear, constructive way. So that was very powerful. And I did sleep really well as well. And I hadn't slept much the couple nights before. So that was great. You asked me, has anything really happened? And I didn't even really put the two and two together, but I was gifted my the money for a course, a schooling course that I've been wanting to take for a year, and I didn't have the money to do it for a year.
And if
Um,
you don't mind me asking, how much money is that course?
1800. Yesterday, I actually got the good word that this woman wants to pay for me to do my course. So it was truly, truly epic and mind blowing.
And from my point of view, it's typical after we do these clearings. It's
Yeah.
just mind blowing. It truly is because uh, I recently was having trouble getting a place to live here in Mount Shasta.
Yeah, I bet.
Homeless because I wanted to
Mhm.
be in Mount Shasta. Mount
Yeah.
Shasta, it's very, very tight.
I
And
know. I almost wanted to move there too
there
again.
were places outside of town that were much lower vibration. I just had to say no to those places. So then I had to go to my friend's house in Redding, and I felt kind of kicked out of Mount Shasta. And actually, I really got in touch. I did a spell break, and I got in touch with past lives being homeless. And then my father was homeless for 10 years. I got in touch with all that pain of being homeless. I was a Native American in a lot of past lives. Long story short, I cleared all this pain. I was crying around being homeless. I got that whole spell out of my body. And literally 3 minutes after that spell break, the phone rings, and a friend of mine, I wanted to be with people I know. They're high vibe people. A friend of mine, a high vibe friend, says, "Hey, I got a room, and it'll be available soon." So
Wow.
we had a great conversation. It looks like I'm going to be staying there. 3 minutes after that spell break. And so
Wow.
this is very common, very, very common. Just
Wow.
one example of many, many.
Yeah. And a lot of us, like you said, the spiritual people, I felt on the verge of homelessness this past year and last year was really hard. And sometimes we have to go through that.
Well, see,
I
that's the
I don't know
belief
why.
is sometimes
Yeah.
we have to go through that. And well, because it's familiar, because you haven't cleared the spell.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
you don't need to go there anymore. So you don't need to bring it into the presence, into present time. And so you can say, in the past, I had a challenge with finding a place, whatever. And now I'm home, and home's easy. Home comes to me easy. And the main thing is that remember, you're in the new now. The past doesn't exist. You don't have to go through anything.
Mm.
You don't have to repeat anything.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
really don't. And if you think there's some karma about something, you can just forgive yourself, do the forgivenesses, and then let it go. Begin the new now. You're all fresh. You're all innocent. You can have a new life right now. Hi, dear ones. For the last 40 years, I've studied most every kind of healing art under the sun. And I can truly say nothing I've seen produces powerful, life-changing miracles like spell breaking. And what is so cool is that anyone can learn it. I've never felt more consistently and permanently liberated as I have with spell breaking. My scarcity spells have been broken as my income continues to increase exponentially. I'm so happy. I believe a main reason is because spell breaking works primarily at the body level, where our deepest emotional trauma is usually stored. It is most advanced work that I have ever experienced that seamlessly integrates elements of Reiki, breathwork, Gestalt, inner bonding, quantum theory, and the love of the higher self. Our loving miraculously dissolves the pain of feeling stuck, returning us to our perfected state of oneness and the realization of our infinitely abundant life. Virtually every spell break opens one's field to more miracles that before were not on one's bandwidth to receive. Now that you've had a taste of spell breaking and seen others getting liberated and receiving miracles immediately afterwards, I encourage you to dive in and really experience these miracles for yourself. As you learn to tap your soul's infinite love intelligence, you really can be, do, or have anything you choose. Your soul literally is a magical genie that is here to serve your infinite life and will do so as you can let go of your learned ways of lack and limitation. And that is really what spell breaking is. It's about letting go of what's in the way of realizing your abundant magic that is immediately available here and now. After watching this webinar, I asked Great Spirit to guide me for the perfect next step after introducing you to spell breaking. The challenge is there's a lot of spells to clear for most people, and most people don't want to spend so much money and time on regular private sessions, although I'm available for that. To answer this need, I've been spiritually guided to make spell breaking insanely affordable and super enjoyable growth and learning experience. It's called the Saturday Soul Activation Workshop, where you'll be guided how to facilitate a spell break session for another person, as well as receive a full session for yourself. I've been trained how to educate and guide groups in triads, and dear one, learning in this way is really fun. The time flies because it's so engaging, experiential, and growthful all the way through. Rather than the lecture format, you get much personal attention and opportunities to express yourself. Spirit also guided me to make this event at an irresistible price of $170 and $125 if paid within the next 24 hours after receiving this webinar, $45 discount. Spiritual people, I really want you to hear this. Accepting what is an important step to transformation, but you don't have to tolerate a lesser life as your karma, so to speak. This is nothing more than a stinking spell you bought into. There is nothing wrong with you. You can simply forgive your past and be reborn now, where you can be finally worthy of all your dreams coming true. You are an infinite being, and your authentic energy is infinitely abundant and the truest love. And these flowery words become real when you take the red pill, so to speak, and do the work of dissolving your spells. Are you willing to be liberated into your abundant life? Yes or no? If so, please join our loving group. Spell breaks are not so easy to do on our own, and there are many added dimensions to doing this work together. Other people's breakthroughs will inspire yours, and vice versa. I look forward to seeing you at our soul activation workshop. All right, why are we here together? I haven't told everybody yet. The
Yeah.
reason is that I do quantum energy healing. I developed this method about 12 years ago. So it's called the Freedom Code. You're going to experience it right now, Melody. And why? Because I got that there's more to clear for you to have a really big prosperity breakthrough, even though you've already had one there, a nice $1,800 one.
Yeah, I know. It's truly amazing.
And hopefully what I'm seeing is that when you have this complete spell break, that you're going to be so on fire and moving towards prosperity, clearly moving towards prosperity, doing what you love, your passion. How does that sound?
Sounds fantastic. I'm ready. Remember?
Yeah, good, good, good.
Okay, and my ear just started going crazy when you did that. Like it's still,
Magic's happening in your life right now. You're opening up. So,
yeah, that's what it felt like. I mean,
and
I had some spirit messages yesterday too, getting into nature, animals. Ooh, a snake I've never seen before ever in my entire
a
life.
snake. Yeah,
Mhm.
snake is about initiation. You're being initiated to the next level. And from my point of view, the hawk is about vision. So it's time to believe in your vision more than ever and to trust your vision, trust your abilities that you can open up, that the higher truth can come through you. And so we're letting that open on up now. Beautiful. You have all these abilities. It's time for you to be the galactic human you are. So
Yes,
coming
yes,
online, coming
thank you,
online.
John. Thank you for your help. I am very ready, and this is powerful work that you're doing. My ears still doing stuff.
Okay. Time to live your grand life. Yes or no?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. It is. So, yes, I am very ready and I'm very appreciative. This alone was very synchronistic and divine timing. So, thank you.
So let's all play with this statement and everybody watching. I trust my grand life.
I trust my grand life.
I step into my grand life.
I step into my grand life.
I am my grand life.
I am my grand life.
Another way to dissipate these spells is simply to dwell on the dream, dwell on what you're choosing, and to believe in it. The belief develops as you keep going into it and saying yes to it. Keep saying yes to what you want, keep saying yes to it. And at some point, it becomes a belief. You're believing in it, it develops a power to it. And then it has to happen. You keep feeding it, it has to happen. It has to come into the physical. So simple as that. You just got to keep priming the pump, keep giving it love.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
Simple. Simple. Don't have to worry about the house. Stay with the vision. Yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for joining me, Melody.
Thank you, Joe. You say things so well that really puts it together. So thank you.
You're awesome. I've so enjoyed working with you and have a wonderful evening.
Okay. You too. Goodbye, everybody. Thank
You should also know that many of these spells block a person's expression of loving. We call this the heart wall. The heart wall is a series of trapped emotions, beliefs, and spells developed between the ages of 5 and 13 years old to protect us from intimacy, because intimacy during our early years was coupled with trauma. Once the heart wall is removed, a person can enjoy healthy intimacy with friends, family, and romantic partnership. They are more transparent and less in hiding and reaction. The day my heart wall clearing was complete, I started dating for the first time in 3 years. And in 2 days, I met my soulmate, Makwa, whom I later married. If you desire a soulmate, I highly recommend you do a series of spell breaks to open your heart to love. When the flower opens, the bees come. After every spell break, you're going to feel more whole, more energy. Those of us who keep clearing out the spells are realizing our I am perfection and passionately making a bigger positive impact on the world. So if it's your desire to be a mover and a shaker to co-create our liberated New Earth community, I recommend you keep clearing as often as possible. And finally, most people find it challenging to spell break themselves. I know, I still do. I would rather have a trained person guide me through my spell break sessions. Please consider receiving personal sessions with me to get liberated into your abundance, prosperity, and true love. I've been facilitating healing and empowerment for individuals and groups for over 30 years. Spell breaking is just one of the 44 skills that I practice and educate at the I Am University of Spiritual Psychology. If you happen to be in the energy vortex of this beautiful Mount Shasta area, my favorite and I believe most powerful way of spell breaking is while sitting on the living earth and breathing with the rhythm of my shaman's drum. Reconnecting with the earth in this way can be surprisingly magical and amazingly regenerative to your mind, body, and soul. So I hope you'll come join me. Thank you for your commitment to self-healing and prosperity, to be the change we need to see in the world. I love you, dear ones. Blessings.